So what's happening, all my peeps? I got a special video for you guys today. Was sitting around. It's cold here in South Carolina, and I really hate it and wish I could go scuba diving or get into some adventure out in the water today, but not going to happen. It's too cold. I think the high today is like 50, and that's way too cold for a guy like me. So when I get to Florida, we'll have more wintertime adventures. So I was sitting around thinking, and I was like, hey, you know what? I want to let you guys see some of the stuff I got into this year. Was able to go on 3 different dive trips, 6 dives. You know, when you go out on a charter like that, you get 2 dives. And so off the coast of Murrells Inlet, I was able to go to the Bill Perry, which was pretty cool. Bill Perry is a landing craft. If you've ever seen anything from like D-Day, storming the beach of Normandy, how the troops will come in on this boat and this gate lets down and all the troops run off, that's a landing craft. So South Carolina DNR has put one out there for an artificial reef. That was pretty cool. Got to go on that one. Got to go out to the 11-mile reef, which is several different things, but we tied on to the tugboat and an A4 airplane and a barge. And so that was actually a really cool dive if you ever get to go. And then I got to go out on the City of Richmond. Now, the City of Richmond was an old cruise liner. I think this happened in the mid-60s, like 63. You can look it up, City of Richmond off the coast of Murrells Inlet. So it was being towed down to the Caribbean to be made into a casino. Started taking on water, couldn't save it. It ended up sinking. It's been there since the 60s, and so, which is awesome because it had tons of life on it because it's been there a really long time. But I got into some stuff and got to, found some stuff, and I'll share with you guys now. So I laid it out here on my table. So check this out. The last wreck I was talking about, the City of Richmond, this is actually the stuff I got off of it. Now, when I found this shell, it was actually closed together like a clam should be, but then I put it in my dive, BC, got on the boat, brought it home. Finally, it worked itself loose. But beautiful pattern on it. I really loved that when I found it. And of course, oyster shell. This is another oyster shell that I found that I have grandkids and people who are interested in what I can find. And that was a pretty cool little find. Another shell. Now, these are tiles off of the ship, but they were broken. You can see, how the perfect angle here, but it had broken off. These were perfect tiles. They're about 3/4 of an inch. You can see my finger here, about how big it is. And I thought, when I got on the boat and was telling everybody what I found, it was like, wow, such a huge, massive cruise ship, and they used these little tiles to build it. But that was the City of Richmond, okay? That was my last dive of the summer. Now, these two came off while I was out on the 11-mile reef, which is the tugboat, airplane, and barge. And look at this, guys. This is absolutely amazing. I don't know how to explain this and these patterns and how smooth this shell actually is. Amazing. And of course, everybody wants hermit crabs and hermit crab shells. This did not have a crab in it. I know when it has life in it, you cannot take it. I understand that. It did not have anything in it. Beautiful, perfect hermit crab shell. I thought that was awesome. Out in the middle of the ocean. These dives, each of these dives were about 50 feet. You don't have to be advanced open water to go on dives that shallow. Okay, so now, this little corner right here, I have a box, you can see right there, that I keep everything in. These things were found over the years, and I'm not 100% sure what dives these shells came off of, but they were in my box, and I got to keep them. Now, this stuff here did come off of a certain dive. One of my first dives in the ocean in the mid-90s was a wreck called the Hebe, H-E-B-E. It was a Dutch merchant ship, sank in World War II. It and a British subchaser, the St. Cathan, collided in a blackout, and they both sank 1/4 mile apart. So these are things I found off of the Hebe. First is a tile. Yes, it's covered in barnacles. The Hebe sank in 1942. So it's a very old dive. Lots of life on it. You can find videos on it all the time. But that's and you can see about the size of my hand. So I would say that's a 3-inch tile. No, that's a 4-inch tile. And then there's a soap dish beside it that I found that I thought was pretty cool because I love wreck diving, you guys. I love the artifacts. I love the history behind it. This is a piece of angle iron. You can see in the very end how it's got where it was welded up to something. Probably maybe along the lines of a shelf or, to hold a shelf up on or something of that nature to mount something to the wall where it can't move or whatever. So anyway, that's my treasures. This pile here was from this summer. This is from over the years. And so, yeah, had some fun diving, had some great adventures. We always go out with Express Water Sports out of Murrells Inlet and love it. Those guys are great. They do a great job. They take care of you. They don't pay me anything to say that. I just let you guys know it's pretty awesome. So anyway, appreciate you guys checking it out. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Show me some pictures of some of your finds and some of your treasures that you find out. These are all treasures to me. It's not always money, right? So this summer, summer of 2023, we plan on getting into all kind of stuff, doing some Florida diving. Eventually, I'm going to move to Florida where we can show a lot more videos. I plan on getting a GoPro so that I can take you on some underwater adventures with me and stuff we find. So stay tuned. Like I say, please like, subscribe, share, say hey down in the comments, and we'll catch you on the flip side.